Hi everyone, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving break. I'm going to be going over our final 2 weeks in the course in this video. So I'm going to start with week 15 and then talk about turning in your portfolio in the final week. Okay, so in the last video I went over in more detail what you're doing for the portfolio. So if you didn't see that, you can go back to the week 14 overview video and I go over in more detail the portfolio assignment. And in that video I went over what you were doing for portfolio check 1, which is due by the end of the day on Monday. Okay, so for that one you are setting up the portfolio structure as well as drafting one section, the coursework reflection section. So you need to have that shell built as well as have the draft of the coursework reflection written and the 4 assignments that you discuss there in your appendix. Okay, so you can either include the full text of the assignments or links to them. All right, so that's what you need to get full credit for that portfolio check. And then for Wednesday, by the end of the day, you're going to do a peer response to portfolio check 1. So as you saw in my announcement last week, you have new groups. So please make sure you are working within the new portfolio folders and groups that I gave you. You will see the people, whoever has a portfolio check 1 in their folder, and it's in your folder, those are the people that you should be giving a peer response to. So you will be doing a separate peer evaluation of the engagement of these new members next week. Okay. All right. Then on Friday, you are turning in the second and final portfolio check where you have a completed draft. So for this portfolio check, you are doing the second reflection, which is the reflection on myself as a writer. And if we look at the portfolio assignment here, this section is a little different from the coursework reflection in that you're not putting the assignments you discuss in the appendix. So with both of these 2 main sections, we are practicing different ways that writers often include work in a portfolio. So we practice the appendix in this one, and for this one we're going to work with screenshots. So this is a different way of incorporating your work into the portfolio. So you're going to choose 3 of these bolded questions, so out of the 8 to respond to for this part of the portfolio. The bulleted questions below are meant to help you respond to that main question, okay? For each question, you will have one screenshot of your work that you think helps you answer that question in some way. So for screenshots, these should be excerpts of a submission. So you want to narrow your focus as much as possible. You know, for example, you wouldn't include a whole screenshot, a screenshot of an entire assignment like a studio. Instead, you would focus on maybe your notes from the studio or your reflection from the studio, okay? And you're going to include that in your discussion of each source. So along with your answer, let's say if you chose this one, along with your answer, we will see your screenshot right there. So it's not going to be in the appendix. Okay, so that's a main difference. And then for this portfolio check, you're also going to write the conclusion. And lastly, the last thing you're going to do is write the introduction. So the introduction is a way of explaining to a reader what they're going to encounter in the portfolio. And that is actually best written last because you know by the time you've done everything else what you can then say in your introduction. Okay, and please pay attention to the criteria for what needs to be done to receive full credit for that portfolio check. After this portfolio check, you have a completed draft of your portfolio. So also course evaluations, please make sure you are doing those. Okay, and then next week, next Monday, you have a final peer response. And so again, you're responding to your new group members in your portfolio group. Again, course evaluations if you haven't done them. And then on Wednesday, by the end of the day, you're going to turn in your portfolio. So this is a portfolio checklist for you all to make sure you have everything you need in each section. Okay. And then you're going to save your portfolio as a PDF, download it as a PDF, and please save it as your last name and writing portfolio, and then upload it to this assignment. Okay. So that's it for the course. You do not have a final in the course. The portfolio is your final. So I wish you all the best of luck on the rest of your finals. I've enjoyed having you in class. Please let me know if you have any questions over the next week and a half, and I'll be happy to answer them.